Federal Executive Council has approved the scrapping of the Niger Delta Ministry and Sports Development Ministry. It also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Culture and Creative Ministry. The decisions, according to the presidential media aide, Bayo Onanuga, was taken during the weekly meeting of the council presided over by President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday at the presidential villa in Abuja. The responsibilities of the Niger Delta Ministry will now be taken over by the newly created Regional Development Ministry. The new ministry will now take over all regional development commissions, including those of the Niger Delta, Southwest, Southeast, Northeast, and Northeast regions. Also, the Sports Development Commission will now take over the responsibilities of the scrapped Sports Development Ministry. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has sacked 5 ministers in a major overhaul of his cabinet. Those fired are Women Affairs Minister Barrister Uju Ken Owaneye, Tourism Minister Lola John, Education Minister Professor Tahir Maman, Housing and Urban Development Minister of State Abdullahi Gwazu, and Youth Development Minister Dr. Jamila Ibrahim. The president also appointed 7 new ministers whose names would be sent to the National Assembly for confirmation. The new ministers are Bianca Odumegu Ojuku, Foreign Affairs Minister of State, Jumoke Oduwole, Trade, Investment and Industry, Nentawa Yimanda as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Former Defense Minister Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma says he is worried over the quality of Nigeria's political leadership. Danjuma said the quality of leadership is dropping. The situation, according to him, was more worrisome in the northern region. He spoke on the issue on Wednesday while receiving a delegation of the League of the Northern Democrats at its residence in Ikeja, Lagos. Danjuma asked political leaders to sit up and check the worrisome trend. For the visitors, he asked them to have a clear vision because they are up against corrupt political class with plenty of power and money who would fight them to retain their grip on the system. In foreign news, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have been exchanging insults as the race for the White House enters the home stretch. On Wednesday afternoon, Kamala Harris stood in front of the vice presidential residence in Washington, D.C. and delivered a short but withering attack on her Republican president opponent. Calling Donald Trump increasingly unhinged and unstable, she cited critical comments made by John Kelly, Trump's former White House chief of staff, in a New York Times interview. The vice president quoted Kelly describing Trump as someone who certainly falls into the general definition of fascist and who had spoken approvingly to Hitler several times. Trump responded by saying Harris has a warped mind and is a threat to democracy. Finally, in sports news, the International Federation of Football History and Statistics has announced the nominees for the Men's World Best Player 2024, with 2 Super Eagles forwards making the cut. Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman have made the 30-man shortlist. No other African player was nominated for the award, including the likes of Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, Bayer Leverkusen's Victor Boniface, and Real Madrid's Ibrahim Diaz. Previous winners of the prestigious award are Marco van Basten, Lothar Matthäus, Robert Lewandowski, Lionel Messi, and Erling Haaland. On the international stage, Osimhen and Lookman were key members of the Nigerian squad that reached the final of the 2023 African Cup of Nations, contributing a combined 4 goals and 4 assists. That was the news update. Thank you so much for listening. I am MODUPE AKINYOSOYE. Good afternoon.